Morning. Good morning. Good morning. I got a haircut. Ha! I like it. It's cool. I feel lighter, and I don't feel as hot and heavy out here in Miami. Oh, Miami's hot. Yesterday I went. Yesterday was a good day. Had a good day. Oh man. Spriteful is doing so well. It's doing better than it's ever done before, thanks to the tax credit going away. Everyone wants to get their solar panels installed before the end of the year, and we are 4.5 months away from the year ending, I think. 4.5 months. And projects typically take 3 to 4 months to install, from the moment that they sign to the moment that they're done. So this is like go time, you know. That's the real reason why Naomi and Amari stayed in Alaska. Well, there are a couple more reasons, but the main one was so that I could really just go ham on sales, and I've been doing it. You know, like never in the history of this company have we sold so much. I think we sold we've been selling at least $150,000 of solar per week, which is, I mean, I don't know if that's revealing too much, but we're a small company, you know. $150,000 of solar per week pretty consistently for the past couple of weeks feels good. It feels good. This is definitely the best I've felt from a capitalistic frame of mind, and it's really empowering, I gotta admit. I feel very powerful. I feel very connected. I feel very light, and I know that it has to do with how Spriteful's doing, because sometimes I could be feeling great somewhere in my heart, but if Spriteful is like on a financial down, you know, like owning a business is crazy. Like, I'm not even kidding. There's been times in which, you know, I have employees, I have people I have to pay, I have to organize. I have to make sure everyone is receiving what they are expecting to receive as compensation for the work. And sometimes things get really tight. And I mean, I think it was like 2 years ago, or maybe just last year, I saw the bank account go down to like $37, and I was like, how did that happen? And it was simply because I overextended some payments and didn't realize how close we were to the edge, and had to make some moves to bring it back up. We're at a much healthier level now, but yeah, 37 I think has been the lowest I've ever seen. And after like the 10th time that it happens, it's kind of nice, because it's like, okay, like it's $37, but there's no freak out anymore. You know, at the beginning when that kind of thing happened, I would freak out and it would just like consume me. And by the 10th time, it doesn't faze me at all. It's like, oh, there it is, bank account, $37, payments coming in in the next couple coming days. You know, $7,000 we have to issue, payroll and stuff, and it's kind of like, it's definitely kind of like drowning, in the sense that you can't freak out. Like, if you freak out, if you feel like you're drowning and you freak out, I think that's kind of game over. You're gonna need someone to come get you. And not that I've ever been there, but my wife was a lifeguard, so I think I've gotten a little bit of exposure. Not to anyone drowning, but to like the concept of drowning. And we've seen some movies in which she's like, "Yep, that's that is what it looks like when someone is drowning." So I feel like that's kind of what business is about learning how to not freak out when you're drowning. Yeah, business is weird. Like, I have a customer right now who he's getting a wonderful solar system. We're talking, like, I guess I'll give you guys a little bit of information about solar. Like, a typical house, a typical American house, Obviously, like, if you're in Nepal, you only need, like, a single solar panel and you're probably good. But in an American house, you would need about 20 to 25 panels that would kind of fulfill the electrical needs of a house. Anyway, we're about to close a project. It hasn't been closed yet, so I don't want to jinx it, but we're about to close it. 130 panels and 8 Tesla Powerwalls, which is, the biggest one we've done in terms of Powerwall so far is 3. So that's really exciting. And this customer is super well educated, my favorite kind of customer. Like, I love when a customer can meet me at a higher level, and sometimes I have to kind of not shepherd them, because they've definitely steered themselves. They're just curious, capable, like, information sponges, these people, because they don't I have like so many more years of experience. They only have a couple of months maybe. Well, this guy, he's had solar before, so I would put this guy on like as far as customer education goes, 10 out of 10. As far as like global solar education, maybe he's like at a 7, 6.5, 7, which is, I would say most customers are like at a 1 or 2. So, obviously seems more advanced, and it's amazing, like, so cool. And what's really cool is that he had been talking to many other companies before he reached us, and so he's been slowly realizing, like, oh shit, I've built these relationships with these people, and because he's a relationship guy. Like, he's a teacher, he's a mentor, he's entering that mentor stage of life, and he's like, oh shit, I've reached this relationship level with these people. But he deep inside, he knew from very early on that he needed to do this project with us. There's just too many serendipitous connections. He knows my aunt through Rotary. He's been very big into youth exchange. Like, we connect at a much, much, much deeper level than just solar, but we also connect on solar. So obviously, he's been talking to people. He's been talking to other people about me, and some people have tried to, like, throw some dirt in my face, like, they question things like, if he's so good, why hasn't his company grown as much? If he's so good, then why did he just recently deactivate a bunch of legal entities on Sunbiz? And if he's so good, then blah 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 blah. Like, basically trying to muddy the waters so that they don't really have anything negative they could say about me, because I am the best. Like, they're in Miami. No one, I can say this I can say this. No one, maybe Raul from Cutler Bay, maybe. That's the only one that I would say is around my level of dedication, passion, sincere appreciation, and ultimately joy. The joy that we get from this work. There's people who I also acknowledge are they're kind of there. I would never speak badly about almost anyone unless I have some sort of evidence that they're ripping people off or lying to people. Like, that happens a lot in this industry. It's easy to lie, it's easy to rip off in the solar industry. I haven't done it on purpose, but I recognize that in my past, just because I was stumbling and I didn't really know what I was doing. I've oversold solar. Like, oh yeah, of course, you know, thinking that something's gonna be more efficient than what it is. It's because I'm optimistic and made those mistakes. Needless to say, don't make them anymore. Try not to. But there are people who actively do. They actively try to hide the truth and make the sale and bank the commission. And that's been a little troubling for me. So anyway, back to the customer. The customer, he's spoken to these people. He's spoken to the companies about me, and I think they all are starting to kind of just take their foot off the gas, because they realized that it's going to be tough for them to win this one. I mean, we're the cheapest, which this guy has been like, why are you guys so cheap? And I'm like, we don't have any salespeople. We have maintained a lean operation. Like, we want to stay cheap because we want to, especially for big systems like yours. I think the other people were charging him like $70,000 or $80,000 more for the same stuff, basically. And yeah, I think it makes me feel good to hear that, you know, they try to, some people who don't know me, actually, the one who tried to do the thing with the, oh, why did he do, doesn't know me personally, but the other ones that know me personally, they're like, oh yeah, like, if I'm going to lose a job to anyone, I'm cool with losing it to Pablo. And that is, I think that's a great compliment. Damn, I hadn't really thought about it. Thank you guys. Andres, Alex, and the gang. I appreciate it. I love you guys. JD, love you, bro. Raul, of course, love you, man. I think we've all kind of been, you know, working separately but together, diligently, to improve the state of solar in South Florida, which is difficult area to do this in. So, thank you for being part of my solar tribe. The South Florida solar tribe. We're all kind of gonna have to band together after January, when the tax credit goes away. We're gonna have to figure something out. Yeah. I met with a friend yesterday who kind of how do I explain? I don't even know if I can explain. This friend kind of blows the lid off of what normality is, like what is possible as a human. For me, like she is so far, she's such an outlier in my group of friends that I have access to at a deep connection level, that I mean, I love spending time with her. I hadn't really ever spent time with her the way I did yesterday, but it was really enlightening. Kind of, actually, now that I think of it, I have another friend whose name is Pablo. Same thing. Like, their minds are they're so sharp, but at the same time, so radical, that I think I have to, like, integrate what my experiences with them, and and just process, because it's not just like casual. Whenever I hang out with Pablo, it is not casual. Like, we are going deep into some shit. And the same thing with Luna. Whenever I guess I'm gonna hang out with Luna, we're gonna go deep into some shit, and like, it's not talking about the weather. Like, it's like a we're not in Kansas anymore kind of moment with them. And kind of crazy, like, I don't know, makes me think about the whole concept of good and evil energy, like, how does it work? Is it real? Does it live within us? How blind are we to it? What's the likelihood that I'm bad and not good from an energetic standpoint? Which I think is probably zero, but hey, I'm not gonna be like, hey, I'm zero, I'm totally good. I'm gonna be like, okay, I could be bad. I'm gonna always have that little doubt, but I think I'm good. I'm like 100, I'm like 99.99999% sure that I'm good. Or that at least my good energy is more than capable of thwarting and keeping my bad energy at bay. And maybe good and bad are the wrong words. Maybe light and dark are better. Maybe positive and negative. Hard to say. I don't know if we have the right words to describe what this energy really is, if it exists. All I know is many people believe it exists. Actually, almost everyone believes that it exists. Good and evil. Good and evil. That's really what it is. It's good and evil, isn't it? Those are at least the best words we can come up with. Heaven and hell and God and the devil. Even like Republicans and Democrats and Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, like, good and evil, and we don't really know which one is the good one and which one's the evil one. Like, we don't, like, like, it's easy from the outside looking in to say, oh yeah, Israel's the evil and Palestine's the good, Russia's the evil and Ukraine's the good. Capitalism is the good and communism is the evil. Like, it's easy to put it in that frame, but it's not. Like, you can't do that. I don't think it really bubbles up that way into such a macro level, because there's a little bit of good and evil. I'm gonna go ahead and, for the rest of this talk, assume that there is such a thing as good and evil. But really, what it feels more like to me is just like peaks and valleys in a continuous dynamic wave of emotion, energy, and existence that is kind of like flowing through all of humanity. And sometimes like constructive interference happens and you have a good. Sometimes destructive interference happens and you have a evil. But I don't really know how it works, so I'm just gonna label them good and evil. And I would never say this group of people is evil, this group of people is good. I can't. That's so silly. It would be like saying it would literally be as silly as saying that part of the ocean is higher than that part. Wait a couple seconds and then it's gonna reverse because the waves are going through it. So yeah, I mean, I guess good and evil are a thing, but they don't really, they should never be used. I mean, I don't want to say never. Maybe like, no, maybe I do want to say never. I don't think they should ever be used to describe a group of people. I think that's like a dangerous manifestation of like groupthink. And it kind of, I mean, obviously, like, we have enough experience as humanity to recognize that when that happens, like, you can end up in a Holocaust. It's not actually that far away from it. It takes, at some point the idea grows way bigger than ever, than it could have ever been imagined, and you end up building concentration camps with gas chambers in them, and thinking that you're doing something that's positive for humanity. What? That's crazy, isn't it? But it happened. Jeez. Ah, man. So anyway, me and this friend, we were vibing. She's an artist. She's a free flow. I went there because I wanted to get some beautiful gifts for my wife, and I did. Don't tell her, because I haven't given them to her yet, and I'm gonna wait until she comes back from Alaska. But oh my god, I think she's gonna love them. They're like such unique pieces that I selected from this I guess, yeah, from Luna's creations and old, she's got what it takes to be like one of those breakthrough artists that there's like, is slightly crazy, but that's kind of what it takes to make it, to change a particular facet of humanity. If you want to make a splash, you got to be a little crazy. And she is likely to make a splash in some way or another. So she's got my vote, because I love her stuff. She's a good curator. She's a great curator. And our conversation eventually landed in the good and evil thing, and she's a big believer in the fact that she's a big believer in the I don't know how to say it. I don't want to label it as anything. She believes, that's really all I have to say. She believes that there is a lot of sexual trafficking happening. She believes that there's a lot of child exploitation happening. She believes that what we see on a daily basis in the superficial construct of the skeleton of humanity is more of a farce than it would seem. Not that I trust the government, but she takes it to the next level. And so from her eyes, that kind of makes someone who shakes up the system a positive thing, like Trump. She sees Trump as like a system shaker, and kind of like, by doing that, making it so that the powers that are hidden are forced to come out, and the world heals. And maybe she's right. I don't know. All I know is, when I see Donald Trump, I don't see absolutely anything trustworthy. I don't see absolutely anything that I would deem worthy of giving power to. All I see is a power-hungry, money-driven individual who's probably very hurt from an early age. Maybe it has something to do with his relationship with his father and his brother Fred. I think his brother's name is Fred. I don't know, but I know that he has a brother who his dad and his was kind of like the favorite. The was kind of like the favorite growing up, you know, unspoken or spoken. I don't know how deep it goes. All I know is that his brother died, and Donald just feels like he just had to do everything possible to make himself feel like he was worthy, that he was worthy of existence, because I don't know if he got that from just unconditional love anywhere. Anyway, I don't want to get too deep into that because I really have no idea about that stuff. I'm just kind of, you know, reading through the cracks, like looking through the people. But what I can say is Donald looks like a hurt person to me, and a hurt person who realized that he is an exceptional liar, and he can read a person so well. Like, he can look at someone, immediately understand what the best things he could possibly say to make this person love them, trust them, follow them. He's really good at that, and so he's able to bend through reality. It's a pretty phenomenal ability, you know, and it kind of has far-reaching implications. To me, one of the biggest ones was, I know there was a comedian who just like was, I don't remember his name, maybe I don't know. Bill. Maybe it's Bill. I don't know. There's a comedian. Obviously, there can't be that many that this has happened to. There's a comedian who, like, a couple months ago, just continued to rip Trump a new one on the internet. And Trump, through his friend Kid Rock, because Trump and Kid Rock are friends, arranged a meeting. And this comedian went, I think, to the White House, and they spent maybe an hour or however long together. And he came back out and he did one of his, you know, he does a late night show, and he came back to the late night show, and he was like, the man I met at the White House the other day is nothing like the man we see on TV. Nothing. And I could see something had shifted within him, something deep, something had shifted within him, so that he now trusted Trump a little bit more. Understood Trump a little bit more, and recognized Trump as a human being more than just like a political or like speaking or like mouthpiece. You know what I mean? Anyway, to me that's been like the most enlightening about Trump and how I think about him. That impacted me. I can't lie, it did. However, because because I intuitively understand that Trump is a professional liar and deceiver, I look at that as another, you know, like, I also think Elon is an amazing power in this world, a little bit naive sometimes, and you know, he also has childlike energy, and he's been put through the ringer, you know, like the Democratic Party, like the fact that there's an American, like this blows my mind. There's an American company that produces the best car in the world with great technology. It's electric, and it's an American-made company with like that has hundreds of thousands of good-paying jobs in the U.S. Provides a lot of value to the country. Provides a lot of pride to the country. The fact that the government hasn't been like, yo, like, at least not until Trump came around and like used Elon to get himself into power. Until that happened, the government didn't really acknowledge